Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Malifaux, and tonight we are playing Painkillers. This is a scenario from the Divergent Paths world event. The Trickster failed in her bid to escape McMorning's lab, and was subsequently skinned for not following laboratory protocol and inviting lots of friends to come and trash it. She has stolen the skin of a guard and finally escaped the laboratory, but she's in a lot of pain. But she's in luck, Malifaux being the cheerful, shiny, happy place that it is. There are plenty of friendly friends on hand with prescription medicines to help her out. How this works is we have a Trickster marker in the centre of the table. Each crew has 3 painkillers, which can be given to any non-leader models. Within 2 inches of the Trickster, you can make a 1 interact action to give her your painkiller and push her 2 inches toward your side of the board. You can also use healing actions on the marker, which will push it 1 inch for every damage you would otherwise heal. Not Weird's most balanced scenario, as there are certain crews that will struggle with this. But hey! Oh, and I should probably say that you score a victory point at every turn after the first if the Trickster marker is on your side. So things are going to get pretty competitive. For terrain, we've got impassable buildings, just objects, I guess height 1. Impassable things, height 2 or 3 impassable things, height 2 rock, forest, severe terrain. These are flaming forests, so they're forests that are hazardous, and these are hazardous pits, which are severe terrain. I like hazardous terrain, and I tried to set this up in such a way that the marker could be approached without a shooty crew just annihilating the opponent, but which forces people with ranged heals to have to get pretty close to the marker and bunch up before they can do anything. I thought that would make it more interesting. See what you think. I won deployment and decided to set over here because that's where I was sitting. I've got an Ashigaru with a painkiller, Soul Porter, Chiaki the Niece with Pull of the Grave and a painkiller, Yan Lo with Brutal Karaoke, Reliquary and Misdirection, and finally Ashigaru. Devium has brought a Witchling Stalker with a painkiller, Samael with a painkiller, the Purifying Flame, Sonia with Sherife's Imprint, I think it's the one that gives her the flame walls, and a Witchling Stalker. My plan is obviously to use my advantage in having a crew with ranged heals from Chiaki and Yanlo to pull the marker onto my side where I can start scoring, denying the guild. These Ashigaru will run in and add their painkillers to that plan, and this one's just going to run up the flank and put as many markers down as it can for Power Ritual and Breakthrough. If anyone survives the centre, I'll try to run up on the other side and see if I can contribute to the marker dropping, but I'm not hopeful. Turn 1, there's my hand. Pretty good. And that's the guild hand. Better. 10 Thunder's made to go first. I start moving Ashigaru up in cover, but where they can get to the marker next turn. This Ashigaru has dropped a Power Ritual marker and is making his move up. Soul Porter using his pushing on the Ancestors, and the guild are running forward as fast as they can. Chiaki gets a little bit cheeky, dipping her toe in the burning forest, and using her Cleansing Death trigger to start luring the Trickster over to me. Chiaki's incorporeal, so I don't think she takes damage from the hazardous terrain by moving into it. She will when she activates, however. Samael is leading the Witchling charge down the street, and I decide to play a bit risky. Yanlo moves brazenly into the middle of the street and uses his Instill Youth 0 action to pull the Trickster 1 more inch, where it's now impossible for any of the guild to coax her back with their painkillers next turn, as they won't be in range. This, however, does have consequences, as Sonia then runs up and flings a fireball into my badly bunched crew. She targets Yanlo, but I misdirected off onto this Ashigaru, and then Sonia blackjokers the damage, which was much appreciated. Turn 2, that's the guild hand. Oh my goodness. That is not going to be pretty. And I forgot to take a picture of my hand. I'm only the channel producer after all, give me a break. So we frolic into turn 2, and the guild get the initiative. Sigh. And it's not too bad. Sonia obviously activated and went first and threw shit tons of fireballs, which was particularly terrifying because I didn't ascend with Yanlo last turn, and he's about as durable as a soggy biscuit at the moment. But I got lucky with the flips, and I also had a good hand, meaning for the most part I could keep Sonya on negative flips. Which meant in the end that Yanlo's on half health, Chiaki's on half health, and an Ashigaru's on half health, and half my crew is burning. I fucking hate that woman! So the Ashigaru jumps in and pulls the Trickster back. I also, when I get a chance, use the Soul Porter to bring Yanlo and Chiaki backwards. Not that that's a whole lot of good, because Samael is easily in range of Chiaki and can see her because she's on fire. Well, luckily my opponent has pretty much burnt her whole hand away, so Chiaki survives with 1 wound. But she'll die at the end of the turn unless I do something. In the end, I use the Ashigaru to run up and give its painkiller to push the Trickster again. Chiaki then uses her painkiller to push the Trickster, and does the cleansing death on Yanlo to just help him keep a little bit more healthy. Yanlo returns the favour, so again, instead of ascending, I heal up Chiaki 4 damage. Move back here to possible safety, and yeah, fuck it. That's how we end the turn. The Witchling's slowed up by the forest, and this Ashigaru running for glory. Both Sonya and Samael will have to waste AP moving if they want to target it next turn. So turn 3, there's my hand. Guild hand okay, but nothing spectacular. Guild gets the initiative, Sonya flames the fuck out of my crew, or tries to. I burn my high cast to try to keep Sonya on negative flips. She still gets a severe blast, I think, which manages to get to Yanlo. But in the end, the Ashigaru survives, and then in my activation runs for the hills, because he's only got 1 wound left, and there's a lot of angry looking stalkers coming his way. His friend is now left out in the street, and faces the ire of the guild, and again he survives on 1 wound and runs around this side of the building. There's a Witchling down this alley. I think it tried to get over here to shoot this guy, but the cover protected the Ashigaru. Witchlings head down the street. This Ashigaru makes its break for it and gets behind the forests. Pretty happy about that. It looks like this was the point Chiaki used her painkiller, and so then she walks around over here and the Soul Porter's following her up. I want her to try to make a dash for the backfield now, in case the Ashigaru falls. And I think that was a mistake. I should have sent the Soul Porter with Yanlo, he's got a much better chance of making it. Speaking of the old man, he moves to hide behind some crates. Oh, after taking some shots at the Purifying Flame and killing it. And again, instead of ascending, I use my 0 action to heal this Ashigaru. Wrinkly balls to the fucking wall. Although as my opponent is yet to score, the game seems like it could be fairly settled. Going into turn 4, Tender Thunderhand, Guild Hand. Think I get initiative and lose no time in dropping a marker and getting my Ashigaru in position to drop another one. This Witchling comes around in the corner and distracts my Ashigaru, so that's what she was up to. This Ashigaru runs around behind this rock, and so Sonya's moved around and annihilates it with a fireball, scoring Make Them Suffer. I then did something super fucking dumb with Yanlo, if we back up to this picture. What I wanted to do was to lightning dance both of these guys over to my Ashigaru, so we could then try to kill them and set off chain explosions, and basically have a super fun fireworks party and stop the guild from being able to score. But I didn't reckon on the fact that I'm a complete dumbass, so I moved Yanlo around here with line of sight to both my Ashigaru and the Witchling, used Lightning Dance, and then found myself in base-to-base contact with the Witchling, with no line of sight to any of my fucking models, but right next to 2 unactivated models who are just itching to give me a distract. Duh. So to get myself out of this situation, I Lightning Dance again to this Witchling. So whilst I've effectively wasted my Master's activation, I'm at least out of range to be targeted by the guild to stop them scoring. So the Witchlings just run forward and start pushing the marker back futilely towards their grounds. The Soul Porter then tries its luck with a charge on the Witchling, poking it twice for like 2 damage, but importantly giving 2 chi to Chiaki, so now she's casting 7, and that's quite tasty. And this has got to be quite an important use for the Soul Porter. If you can Lightning Dance something soft or with low defense next to one of your big chunky models like Izamu or Yin, you can have the Soul Porter charge in, stand back 3 inches away, and farm chi off it. So I need to practice that. With not a lot else to do, the other Witchling moves up and tries to lure the Trickster back towards the guild territory, but she's not going to be fooled by that. She knows who's good to her, and it's too late. Samael moves up over here to protect the backfield, shooting at the Ashigaru and bringing it to its hard to kill. Chiaki moves up around here and uses her newfound casting powers to slow Samael. We go into turn 5, there's my hand, there's the guild hand. Like, seriously, does she shuffle these cards? I get the initiative, and yeah, Chiaki's a bit full of herself now. So she runs up and has the audacity to cast her slow thing at Sonia. We both cheat our 13s, and it goes off. Ha ha ha. If I'd failed, Chiaki would have died by the trigger, and she took some damage from the burning trees when she activated. In return, Samael tries to kill the Ashigaru and fails. This Ashigaru steel walls the witchling into the hazardous terrain and kills it. He protected his master well. Sadly, that leaves Sonia free to move up over here and incinerate my Ashigaru. No more schemes for me. Yanlo used his Ascendants to attach Bone Ascendant. I was out of range to jump into the backfield and drop a marker, so I Humpo assaulted between the witchlings. For shits and giggles, I kill one, but the other one survives, and the little bastard distracts me. Oh, and the one that died killed my Soul Porter. What a bastard. I do hate those things. Anyway, that's it guys. There's the game. The final tally, the guild scored 0 for the strategy, 2 for make them suffer, and 1 for distract. 10 Thunders scored 4 for the strategy, and 3 for power ritual, none for breakthrough. Making the game 7-3 to the Thunders. My opponent had a bit of a frustrating game. Not being able to move the Trickster from range was always going to be a big disadvantage, meaning they had to try to go for the kill, but Yanlo's crew proved more durable this game with my judicious use of healing and hiding behind cover like a total coward. Sonia went for the schemes that were to her strengths, but because of the schemes I chose, it meant I didn't have to engage, which made distract rather difficult. Something we did think of later was that it would have been a good move for Sonia to move up and then drop her flame walls in the first turn, preventing me from moving the marker pretty much at all with my the healing, and that really would have made the game extraordinarily difficult for me, I think. But my opponent's still a really new player, and she can be a real handful, but some games are just going to go like this, and it's a learning curve. For my part, I am only just getting to grips with Yanlo, and yeah, I suck. I really like him, I think he's going to become one of my favourite masters, but I've got to acquire a whole lot of finesse. Some of the bigger goofs were bunching up my guys, facing Sonia. In the end, I got off much more lightly than I feel I should have. And yeah, I pretty much could have lost the whole crew in turn 2, something like that. So need to be more careful about those kind of things. Lightning Dance, forgetting how to Lightning Dance was just stupid. Oh my goodness, I'm so dumb. And not ascending until the last couple of turns. Yeah, that's probably not the way to play him. But it was a decision I had to choose to try to ascend or to keep the crew on its feet with the healing, and it worked out okay in this game. His healing is very reliable and I like it a lot. Given how defensively I was playing, I think using his, I forget what it's called, it's the one that gives armour and spirit to models around him. Should have used that action, I feel, more, as it would help protect against blasts. Thought the Soul Porter was great actually, moving everyone around was really helpful, and stabbing off chi is something I've got to practice. So yeah, loving Yanlo, but got a lot of stuff to work on. Well, that was the game, and those were my thoughts. And I leave you with news that the Trickster was rescued from this combat zone by a young tattooed monk, whom she replayed by flaying alive, as you do. So she now walks around town showing off her new ink, anchors and hearts with I love mum and all that kind of stuff, and I'm sure she'll regret that when she's older. Anyway, take care guys.